Welcome back. Annual pay raises at General Electric may be becoming a thing of the past. The company says it wants to provide real-time feedback to employees as it adjusts to a millennial workforce. Really interesting take on this, because there's a population out there that expects a raise every year, John Hilsenrath, and maybe the millennials don't.
I kind of laugh when I read this, because I think a lot of our viewers out there are looking at this and saying, pay raises? Since when have we gotten pay raises every year? People have barely gotten any pay raises over the last few years. But the story behind this is that they're trying to cater to millennials. A lot of people are flipping jobs more quickly than they used to. So they're looking at doing things on a more rolling basis. In other words, why wait a year? If you're doing a great job for 6 months, give you a little bump then. You know, in some ways it reflects compensation changes that have been going on across the economy for decades. You know, on Wall Street you have the incentive compensation. In executive ranks you have incentive compensation. It's not just your annual pay raise. You know, why not bring that to the average American?
It'll be based more on performance, I guess.
Yeah, and it was to the younger generation of, I want it and I want it now. The Veruca Salt, the Veruca Salt generation was, I've worked here 3 months and I expect to be rewarded and praised and given a raise on top of it. A little bit of that. I understand that. It also removes the annual expectation of, like, okay, now it's time for my cost of living increase, which is what used to be commonplace.
Right. The other thing is, this could be a neat way for GE to cut costs, right? Because there are other things that are looking to fold in here. You know, more parental leave. So we're not going to give you the raise, but we'll give you an extra week on parental leave.
But is there a mentality among millennials, do you think, Harlan, that they prefer getting, you know, rewarded immediately and not necessarily waiting for the year annual raise?
I think millennials, they're not just this monolithic group. I mean, a lot of them they graduated from school into this horrible economy. They can't find jobs. They're burdened by incredible debt. You know, their families, you know, are struggling themselves. So I can't really, I don't want to blame them. I don't think that this is just the whiny generation. I see that 10 out of the 20 fastest growing jobs in this country earn less than $25,000 a year. There are real problems that millennials are facing that go beyond just, you know, wanting validation and pay raises and all of that. I mean, there are actual real problems that I don't want to gloss over.
For GE, this is also a way for them to weed out the people that they don't want there, right? Because
that was Jack Welch's overall theme.
But you just don't give raises to the people who aren't performing, and you help along the people who you see performing.
That's what I was assuming it was, by the way. I mean, under Jack Welch's leadership, before Jeff Immelt, Jack would always say, look, we've got to get rid of the 10% underperformers. You know, something where people understood that it really was about performance.
And if those people aren't getting any kind of raises, they have an incentive to go.
Right.